All right, good morning, everybody. Meteorologist Kevin Phelps here. I'm going to get everything going live here on Facebook and on YouTube. We're going to be talking about, really, the headline says, a crazy week of weather. And we have a little bit of everything here. Even starting off today, we're going to get well above freezing, so we'll melt some of the snowpack, but we're also going to throw some rain on top of it. So it's going to be nice and crusty here for the rest of the week. But notice as you look at the winter weather impacts here for today, we're really in the limited aspect. While we have winter weather advisories in effect for our northernmost counties, this is tracking a little more to the north, meaning we get a little more warm air to surge in, and that's kind of leading me to believe that it's not going to be as major of a problem for us in terms of slippery travel here as we get into those evening hours. So we'll give everybody a few minutes to join, but we'll take our time kind of running through what we expect here this week. You've probably already heard we have the early first alerts out here for this weekend, and that is going to be kind of twofold if you were joining us here on Quad Cities today. It's going to be because we're going to have some really cold conditions, and we're also going to be dealing with what looks to be some snowfall here as we get into the weekend as well. So we're talking Saturday for some fluffy snow, and then Sunday for the dangerously cold temperatures. Let's see if we can kind of pull the graphics full here. For whatever reason, it kind of just pulled. There we go. So we're looking at Saturday and Sunday specifically for our early first alerts. Notice I said we have the chance for some freezing drizzle tonight, but we don't have a first alert out for that or anything because I'm not expecting really any significant impacts for our area. But nonetheless, there's your winter weather advisory. It does happen to include Jackson, Joe Davies, and Carroll County from 6 o'clock tonight until midnight Wednesday morning. But as I was just alluding to, the system is trending just a tad bit farther north, and you can kind of see the rain and snow already setting up in the Dakotas here this morning, and this is diving towards the area. So what I expect to happen here today is to kind of just see a gradual increase in clouds, and we're going to have south winds. So yes, we are all going to get above freezing here today, but this is something that is going to be a very short duration of being above freezing. Our high in the 40s does not occur until about 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight. So here's Exact Track showing those dry conditions through midday. I'm going to pull this map back full because what I want to show you is we're going to take this hour by hour here as we get into the weekend. Well, I say into this evening. Now, for whatever reason, this keeps pointing to the wrong source. There, hey, here we go. All right, so let's start taking this hour by hour as we get into our afternoon hours. Here you are at 5 o'clock this evening. I think we're going to have some scattered showers here. In general, along and north of Interstate 80, but you can kind of see that rain-snow line is kind of setting up right there near Dubuque and Galena. I think this gets pushed even more to the north as we get into those evening hours. So as I kind of take that line off for you, by 6 o'clock, everybody in the viewing area is dealing with some light rainfall. Now, the deal is road temperatures are going to be well below freezing. So I do foresee the potential of maybe a little bit of slipperiness, but that rain-snow line itself looks to set up just north of the Illinois and Wisconsin border. So with just 5 to 10 mile shift north, I think that is really limiting our chances for the slippery travel here this evening. Now we'll advance this to 7 o'clock. You even see a little bit of an uptick there out near Muscatine with some yellows. So yes, there's the potential for what we could consider a winter-like downpour with some rainfall here. So we'll see how this kind of plays out. I really think this is just going to be a rain event for us here tonight, and it's a fast mover. So by 8 o'clock, we're starting to see the bulk of the rain along and east of the Mississippi River, and then it's clearing the area by 9, and then by midnight, we're drying things out, and notice those winds starting to pick up behind the system. We're talking gusts between 30 and 40, and all these winds are from the northwest, which will eventually lead to what will be some spotty snow showers here as we get into very early Wednesday morning. I'm not concerned about accumulations with that, but that is something that we're going to keep an eye on for you here. You can always join Quad Cities today from 4:30 to 7. We'll have you covered over there tomorrow. But the rainfall itself, a tenth maybe to a quarter of an inch. So this is something substantial. And remember, this will be falling on top of our snowpack. So as temperatures dive back down below freezing here tonight and Wednesday, we're going to get a layer of crust or ice really on top of this snowpack, and that's really going to insulate it here. So I think the snow that we have on the ground, much of what we melt today, which won't be much, is going to be something that's going to be on the ground for quite a long time, likely through the holidays as well. So here's the chance of seeing at least a glazing of ice. Notice as you get just north of Galena, that's where you start to cross over that 50% threshold. Again, with this ever so slight shift to the north, that's even going to shift more to the north. So let's talk a little bit more about Wednesday, and then I'll start really focusing on our weekend chances for snow and why I'm more concerned about that and really the dangerous cold behind it. So here's Wednesday morning at 8:30. We have northwest winds here, again, that will routinely gust between 30 and 35 miles per hour. This will give us some instability snow showers. While you might pick up a quick dusting, this is about it. It is not going to be a big snow producer for us. So even though we carry nearly daily chances for snow here, none of these systems appear to be all that big until we get to this Friday, Saturday, Sunday time frame. So by Wednesday afternoon, you're dry, but temperatures are only in the 20s. Wind chills are in the teens. And then here you go on Thursday. I'm going to have to cough here for a second. Excuse me. We're going to be mainly cloudy here for your day, and highs are only in the 20s, but it's starting Thursday night that we're going to see our next round of snow fire up across the Midwest. Keith, Saturday's snowstorm will be more than a couple of inches. And will it be done by my Christmas party starts on Saturday at 5:30? The answer is more than likely yes, the snow will be done by that point. But I'm going to be talking about that snow in just a second. So, all right, as you take a look at Thursday and Friday, this is midnight. Both of our long-range models continuing to show snow setting up over the Midwest. But the one thing I want to highlight, this looks to be a quick-moving system between around 9 o'clock Thursday night and 6 o'clock on Wednesday morning. So there's not a big window for a lot of accumulation. So in general, I think this looks to be an inch or two. A couple areas maybe picking up 3 inches. So again, not a big snowmaker, but we'll see how things evolve. We might need a first alert day for some slippery travel there Friday morning. I'm more concerned about Saturday's snow. And again, it's going to be taking a very similar track to what we see here Thursday night and Friday. There's a little bit of a difference. It's actually going to have less moisture with it, but I do think the system itself could be a little bit stronger. And we also have Arctic air in place. So it's going to be really easy to produce higher amounts of snow. So let's just talk about what snow ratios are. In a typical snowstorm, I'm going to pull this map full and try to do my best to explain this here for you. We're going to be looking at 1 inch of water is typically equivalent to about 10 inches of snow. Now, if you have temperatures that are above freezing, that equates to maybe a little bit less. This would be a 5 to 1. That would be that really wet and heavy snow, the heart attack snow. A typical snow for us is a 10 to 1 ratio. So for every 1 inch of water you have, or 1 inch of rain, that equals 10 inches of snow. Problem is, we have Arctic air in place. I think snow ratios are going to end up somewhere maybe 17 to 18 to 1, which means for every 1 inch of water, you get about 17 or 18 inches of snow. This is your dry, your fluffy snow. This is something that is obviously easy to maneuver. It's easy for us to shovel. It also means it's easier for Mother Nature to blow this all over the place. So here's the other big take home with the Saturday and Sunday system. We have the Arctic air in place. This is when I think we're going to be dangerously cold on Sunday morning. We already had first alerts out earlier this year for some wind chills down to 20 below. Excuse me, I think we're going to get it even colder than that as we get into Sunday. And to be honest, this model run that I'm showing you in particular is actually running a little bit conservative. Some other models out there are showing wind chills as cold as 35 below. Excuse me as I stop to get a sip of water here. So this is why we have the early first alerts out. It's twofold. We have snow, blowing snow, and we also have that chance for some dangerously cold wind chills. Now, as we take a look at the 6 to 10 today precip map, we kind of see the shades of green are kind of setting up more to our north. I do think the storm track finally kind of gets out of our area as we get into next week. So what I'm telling you is once we get past this very active stretch of weather from today through Sunday, next week we can take a breather. I don't foresee any big storm systems bringing us any sort of rain or snow, but with the snow on the ground, we're not warming up. So we're going to continue with highs generally in the 20s here as we get into next week. So again, we have the early first alerts out there for your Saturday and Sunday. So Keith, I hope that kind of answered your question. I do think we're going to have a bigger snow on Saturday than what we're expecting here Thursday night, Friday morning. And the only reason being is this is going to be a fluffier snow. It's easy to accumulate. Maybe 4 to 5 inches is somewhere where I'd lean with that right now. It's really hard to forecast exact snowfall amounts as far out, but the bottom line, it's going to be cold here heading into Sunday morning. And yes, the snow is going to be on the ground. If you're wanting a white Christmas, I think we got you one here this year. It's been a long time since we've done that. But with the rain that we're having here tonight, it's going to compact our snow that we have on the ground right now, which is about 6 or 7 inches. We're going to melt some of it here today. Don't get me wrong. But we're not going to melt all of it. Now you get the rain on top of it, so it's really going to be compressed and kind of crunchy, and I think it's going to be very icy. So we're going to probably have a solid 3 to 4 inches of snow on the ground that's trapped under ice. You put another round of snow in it here Thursday and Friday, and another on Saturday, followed with Arctic air. safe to say our snowpack is probably going to be on the ground here through at least the end of next week, if not really the rest of this month. But it is setting us up for this cool stretch of weather. I know it's winter. It's gonna be cold, right? Well, you got to put it in perspective. Our average high is 39. We're not sniffing that after today for a very long time. And of course, our average highs get into the 20s and 30s here as you get into January and February. So we're kind of setting ourselves up for what looks to be a colder than normal winter here for 25 and 26. And that also means with cold air in place, we're certainly going to be tracking more wintry systems than we have in the past. Remember 2 years ago when we only had 2 big snowstorms last year? We had absolutely nothing. So we're kind of getting the payback here this year. So that's kind of the long and the short of it. I don't expect any significant winter weather impacts here out of the rain here tonight. If you do see some slippery travel in some northernmost counties, but our early first alerts are out here for Saturday and Sunday. Saturday for some fluffy snow, and then bitter cold here on Sunday, resulting in some wind chills 20, potentially 30 below or colder in some cases. That's going to wrap it up here for this Facebook and YouTube and our over-the-air stuff here this morning. As these systems get closer, we'll make these a little longer. Remember, you can always jump in the comments and ask questions. I'll do my best to answer those as many as I can. If I miss them, I'll get back in there and I'll write you a short message. But that's what we're going to be looking at here this week. And of course, as these get closer, these will become more and more in depth. And of course, we'll have better ideas of how much impacts, how long this is going to stick around as well. So we'll wrap this up here for now.